So Deion Sanders and Jackson State Tigers lost to North Carolina Central in the Celebration Bowl, 41-34. And it was overtime. It was, listen, leave it up to a white man to drop the ball in the HBCU celebration national title. Hagler drops the ball on a wide open touchdown floater, just bloop. But listen, besides him dropping the ball, that's not the only thing that lost this game for Jackson State. It was some glaring things that stood out as far as Deion's coaching to me. And that's besides all the whole going to Colorado and all of that. Some of the stuff getting down to the nitty gritty of the game had me questioning, like, even the overtime. They won the toss and chose to play defense first. And North Carolina rammed it down their throat, running the ball, and easily scored. Now that they scored, now the pressure's on you. If you don't score, game is over. And I didn't understand that move. Why would you not have chosen offense to then apply pressure to them to put them in the hot seat? You know, I mean, that I didn't get that. Then to even go to overtime, we were shaky coming down the field, but Travis Hunter, the magnificent player he is, makes Shedeur throws it up. Travis Hunter goes to get it. Touchdown, time off the, massive, crazy. I jumped up and went crazy. Touchdown. You can't write it no better. But at the same time, it's like coming down the field on that drive, they were wasting a lot of time. Then they had a confusion where they actually got a timeout, mistakenly. But then it was something else that happened where they called a timeout. They should have had two plays prepared, ready to go. But then they ended up getting the first down off a scramble in a crazy play. And then they end up calling another timeout. It's like, you ain't have two in the bag ready to go. You should have had two in the bag ready to go. And, it just, the time management, I know you want to run out the clock as far as not giving NC State any time left to then come back down the field and kick a field goal on you. But it's a fine line between wanting to do that and valuing the time that you have left to score. But let me just say, it is terrible that you had to worry about running that much time off the clock because your defense is playing that bad. And the defense was getting punched in the mouth all day today. Like when they was getting ran over by North Carolina State. I mean, that last run to get down to the goal line in the overtime, it explains what that looked like all game. The stiff arm, it's terrible. The defense was getting punched in the mouth all game to the point that it made Coach Prime have to worry about how much time can we take off this clock to make sure they can't walk back down here and kick a field goal on us. And not to get an offense a total pass either, because even though they put up 34 points, the offense was definitely not shining today. And don't get me wrong, like Deion Sanders was clowning today. You know what I'm saying? He made some great plays, some great breakaway runs. And, when they was coming down the field, they needed, it was like 3rd and 18. And he made two great plays. One of them, he shook somebody off and then threw the first down. He made phenomenal plays today. He floated up to Travis Hunter to get that touchdown. He did deep yardage passes. His completion to attempt rate was pretty good. I ain't got the stats right in front of me. But I'm just saying, the offense, while they had great plays too, it still was a lot of part of the game where they didn't seem to be clicking as well as they should click, The defense, I ain't gonna say the offense wasn't shining, but, it wasn't clicking as far as domination mode. It wasn't clicking as far as how Deion liked to play and dominate. They like to dominate. And sometimes some things wasn't working on offense, especially running the ball. The ball running was not happening for Jackson State. North Carolina Central shut it down on Jackson State for running the ball. I don't know. I have the stats right here in front of me, but if you paid attention to pretty much any part of the game, you could see it wasn't happening. And that was apparent on the goal line. When you were trying to get in, you got down to the goal line to get in and score a touchdown, but we couldn't run the ball in. Ran it in, and then it's like, oh, now it's 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 3 or whatever. 3rd and 2, I think, and you can't trust yourself to have 2 downs to run the ball in because North Carolina had been stuffing you all game. You still made do, dipped it off to Hagler. He bloops it and just takes the air out of the whole building, because you could just feel it like, that was it, man. That was it. But what I'm saying is Jackson State should not have gotten to this point. The defense was definitely letting us down today. I did a video just today. I posted about Shiloh Sanders unfollowing Deion and his brother because he mad that they going to Colorado State. But listen, while you trying to make a statement by unfollowing people and this, that, and the other, you got to play better. I know a few plays. I know of one, definitely, a bomb where he just blatantly grabbed and did a pass interference. It was just like, come on, man. Can't get beat like that and just, but I don't know what his whole game ended up being today. But the defense as a whole on Jackson State definitely looked subpar. But I'm going to say this, Deion, these are the game. This is what Coach Prime is going to have to get better at. And this is my first time even critiquing his coaching style. This first game I watched, to be honest. I watched some clips and stuff like that. But most times, you probably wouldn't even be in this situation because it like most times, Deion, after taking the program, elevating it, dominated. So you would have less times where you would see games like this that was really close and it's getting down to be a nail biter. But this is where they're going to critique you, Deion. This is where I will critique you as well, as far as some of the nail biting situations and having like it was one play. Everybody would have spiked it, but I would have rather had a 2-minute offense kind of ready to go because I didn't want to waste that down as far as when they was making their last drive to score to go into overtime. Because really, that play where they threw it up to Travis Hunter is as amazing as it was. It was a Hail Mary. I mean, it wasn't a Hail Mary, but it was just like it's a prayer. It's a prayer, and God answered you on that one. But you ain't going to get that answer every time with that type of play. Like, we had to be a little more concise coming down the field, using the time better and using the timeouts better and using, the downs better. Like, I would have rather had some, like you say, you come out of that one break and you think you would have 2 plays ready, you get the first down, and you have to call a timeout because you don't have enough play ready to, stop the clock or whatever. And I'm just like, then they scored the first down, they chose to clock it. I would have rather been like, don't clock it. I mean, use the down. Quick little 2-minute offense play, boom, 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 something quick out or whatever. If you miss, you miss. Just don't throw an NO. And that's why I think a lot of people would rather clock it and probably disagree with me on that one because you may throw a mistake and it'd be pick 6, But just as well, if you don't have something, just be thorough. Like, hey, you don't got it, throw it out. You know what I'm saying? Don't give him the out, throw it over his head, throw it out of bounds. And then we run the next play. But, I just was valuing those downs. Like, I don't want to just give away downs and give away time like that too. So it's a very fine line you got to cross. And these are some of the decisions that's going to have to be made because as a Power 5 team at Colorado that's going to be climbing the ranks and getting a lot of recruits, you still starting from a team that's bottom of the barrel right now, 1-11, not a lot to work with. So you, just like a Jackson State, you're going to have to build. Even though I know Deion builds fast, you're going to have to build. But then you're going to be playing some good teams, and you're going to have to do a little bit better at the crunch time, game time decisions as far as strategizing on how to get your team to come out with the win. And that's all I would say, Prime. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still with you, Prime. But this was just a heartbreaker to watch, to lose. And I'm going to just say, players, y'all got to, come on, man. We wouldn't be having this conversation. We still would because we critique ourselves anyway, just like Deion do when he sees stuff. Even when they get the win, if you play bad, he's still going to critique it, But it's just, come on, Hagler, man. Come on, man. Yeah, the miracle story of the week we was about to be talking about. And you blooped our finish, man. But I'm just going to say defense, we shouldn't have been in that position in the first place. We should not have been that close. I ain't saying North Carolina Central is not that good, but what I am saying is that Jackson State didn't show up and to ball out. And that could be because of everything that's going on. It's a lot going on in them kids' heads for you leaving and taking Travis Hunter with phenomenal player with you, taking Shedeur Sanders with. It's a lot going on in them kids' heads, and they are not as easily able to shake this as you are because you didn't lure them to Jackson State. They believed in it, and then now their futures are kind of iffy and not as bright because you leave it. And then for the ones that's good enough, they can go with you, but for the ones ain't, they left there to kind of pick up the pieces. And I believe some of that is probably weighing on them and was weighing on them in this game. So that's life, stuff you got to deal with. Hope they'll be able to wrap their heads around it better and do better and still keep building that Jackson State. And I hope Prime will be able to keep building and create a powerhouse just as he turned Jackson State into one, But you win some, you lose some. But let's go. Both teams. Shout out to NC State for the win, I hope Jackson State keep building. I hope Coach Prime keep building that Colorado and everybody come out on top. But this your boy Pete Camp. Tell me how you think the game went. Get at your boy.